Hey everyone, Your Name here, and today we're diving into the fascinating world of tech with 10 incredible facts that'll blow your mind. We'll uncover hidden histories, mind-boggling stats, and even a little bit of tech dystopia. So, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and let's jump right into it. Alright, let's kick things off with the granddaddy of all computers, the ENIAC. Picture this, it's 1945, World War II is winding down and this massive machine is unveiled. The ENIAC was so big it occupied an entire gymnasium, 30 tons of metal, vacuum tubes and wires, sprawling across 1,800 square feet. It took a team of dedicated engineers to operate this behemoth. To put things in perspective, the ENIAC could perform about 5,000 editions per second. Your smartphone? It can handle trillions of operations per second. From that massive, room-filling machine to the device you're watching this video on right now, it's an incredible journey of innovation. Okay, time for a history lesson, internet style. You might think the internet is a relatively recent invention, but guess what? The internet's roots go way back to the 1960s with ARPANET. It was primarily used by researchers and the military to share information between computers. Even in its infancy, the potential of ARPANET was clear. It allowed people to connect and share information in ways that were previously unimaginable. Today, billions of people are connected through the internet, accessing information from across the globe in an instant. And it all started with a bunch of researchers tinkering away in the 60s. Alright, let's talk about mobile phones. These days we've got sleek, pocket-sized powerhouses that can do it all. But back in the day, owning a mobile phone was like carrying around a brick. I'm talking about the Motorola Dynatac, released in 1983. This bad boy weighed a whopping 2.5 pounds and had a battery life of about 30 minutes of talk time. Can you imagine having to charge your phone after every conversation? And the price tag was almost $4,000 back then. The Dynatac might have been clunky and expensive, but it was a revolutionary device. It marked the beginning of the mobile phone era, paving the way for the incredible smartphones we have today. From brick phones to foldable screens, the evolution of mobile technology is truly remarkable. Chapter 4, the first computer virus. A case of good intentions? Let's talk about something a little less glamorous. Computer viruses. The first known computer virus was called Brain, created in 1986 by two brothers in Pakistan. They didn't create it to wreak havoc or steal information. Their intention was to protect their software from illegal copying. If someone pirated their software, the virus would display a message encouraging them to buy a legitimate copy. The Brain virus spread like wildfire, infecting floppy disks and spreading across the globe. It was a wake-up call for the tech community, highlighting the vulnerability of computer systems. While the Brain virus might have been relatively harmless, it opened Pandora's box. It showed the world that computers could be exploited, and things only escalated from there. Chapter 5. The Tech Graveyard. A sobering reminder. We live in a world dominated by technology, and while that brings countless benefits, it also comes at a cost. Every day, millions of devices are manufactured, used, and eventually discarded. Case in point, the tech graveyard. This is where our old gadgets go to die, often forgotten and neglected. In Ghana, there's a place called Agbogbloshie, often referred to as the world's largest e-waste dump. It's a stark reminder of the dark side of our tech-driven lives. Here, mountains of discarded electronics pile up, from old computers and phones to broken TVs and appliances. The sheer volume is staggering. The problem is, a lot of this e-waste contains hazardous materials like lead, mercury, and cadmium. These toxic substances can cause severe health issues. When these materials aren't disposed of properly, they can leach into the soil and water, posing serious risks to both human health and the environment. The contamination can last for decades. As consumers, we have a responsibility to be mindful of our consumption habits and to dispose of our electronics responsibly. It's crucial to recycle and support sustainable practices. We need to close the loop on the tech lifecycle and find ways to make our devices more sustainable. By doing so, we can reduce the environmental impact and create a healthier planet for future generations. Chapter 6, AI, it's not just sci-fi anymore. Let's talk about something a little more futuristic. Artificial intelligence. You might think AI is something out of a sci-fi movie, but the truth is, it's already deeply integrated into our daily lives. When you ask Alexa to play your favorite song, that's AI at work. When Netflix recommends a show you might like, that's AI using its algorithms to predict your preferences. From self-driving cars to medical diagnoses, AI is rapidly changing the world around us. It's automating tasks, improving efficiency, and even helping us solve complex problems. The key is to approach AI development responsibly and ethically, ensuring that these powerful tools are used for the betterment of humanity. AI has the potential to be an incredible force for good in the world. Chapter 7. The first video game, simpler times. Let's take a trip down memory lane to the world of video games where it all began. These days we've got immersive open-world RPGs, hyper-realistic sports simulations, and everything in between. The graphics are stunning, the gameplay is intricate, and the possibilities are endless. But, back in the day, video games were a bit more, shall we say, rudimentary. They were simple, yet captivating in their own right. The first ever video game was called Tennis for Two, a groundbreaking creation for its time. It was created in 1958 by physicist William Higginbotham, who wanted to show that science could be fun. The game was played on an oscilloscope, a piece of equipment typically used for scientific experiments. With graphics as basic as you can get, just a few lines and a dot. 2 lines represented the tennis rackets, and a dot represented the ball. It was simplicity at its finest. Players controlled the rackets using separate controllers, which added a layer of interactivity. They tried to hit the ball back and forth, much like a real tennis game. It was one of the first interactive electronic games, a true pioneer in the gaming world. Paving the way for the multi-billion-dollar video game industry we know today, it set the stage for future innovations. From those humble beginnings to the immersive virtual worlds we can explore today, the evolution has been nothing short of extraordinary. Video games have come a long way, transforming from simple lines and dots to complex, lifelike experiences. Chapter 8. The Data Center Colossus. You won't believe the size. We live in the age of big data, where every click, swipe, and search generates a massive amount of information. But have you ever stopped to think about where all that data is stored? Let me introduce you to the behemoths of the digital world data centers. The largest data center in the world is located in China, spanning an area equivalent to 110 football fields. The sheer scale of this data center highlights just how reliant we've become on technology. Every email we send, every video we watch, every online purchase we make, it all generates data that needs to be stored and processed somewhere. And as our reliance on technology continues to grow, so too will the demand for these massive data centers. Chapter 9. Drones. Not just for delivering packages. Drones have become synonymous with package delivery and aerial photography, but their potential uses extend far beyond these applications. In fact, drones are increasingly being used in life-saving situations, providing aid and assistance in ways that were previously impossible. Imagine a remote village in a developing country, cut off from the outside world by impassable roads or natural disasters. Delivering medical supplies or vaccines to these areas can be incredibly challenging using traditional methods. That's where drones come in. These unmanned aerial vehicles can navigate challenging terrain, bypass roadblocks, and deliver essential supplies directly to those in need. Drones equipped with cameras and sensors can also survey disaster zones, assess damage, and even locate missing persons. They're becoming invaluable tools for first responders, providing critical information and assistance in emergencies. Chapter 10. The YouTube algorithm. A mind-boggling number of decisions. Let's wrap things up with a platform we all know and love. YouTube. It's a place where we can find everything from educational content to cat videos. We've all gotten lost down the YouTube rabbit hole watching video after video until we realize it's 3 a.m. and we have to be up for work in a few hours. It's a familiar scenario for many of us. But have you ever stopped to think about what's going on behind the scenes, the technology and the people making it all happen? I'm talking about the YouTube algorithm. This powerful tool shapes our viewing experience in ways we might not even realize. This digital gatekeeper is responsible for recommending videos based on your viewing history, preferences, and a whole bunch of other factors. It's like a personal assistant for your entertainment. The YouTube algorithm uses over 80 billion parameters to make these recommendations. That's an astronomical number of data points being processed. It's an incredibly complex system, constantly learning and evolving to better understand your tastes and preferences. The more you watch, the smarter it gets. So the next time you find yourself mesmerized by a YouTube video, take a moment to appreciate the unseen force at work. It's a marvel of modern technology. Outro, that's a wrap. So there you have it, folks. 10 amazing tech facts that might have surprised you. Which fact surprised you the most? Let me know in the comments down below. Until next time, keep exploring, keep learning, and keep embracing the incredible world of technology.